How doing, guys? SmartEntity here. So this is the endless Rathuum operation mission that we are playing right now. Now the goal is obviously 25 kills and 0 death. So we're gonna get right into it now. This particular operation has been around for about a day or so. So as usual, there's multi-stages, except in this particular one there's really a lot of different stages. So the first part of it is basically you running a PvE arena type mission, not much unlike this one, versus enemies that are level 20. So for each win, so to achieve a win, you need to kill the enemy 25 times. Obviously, depending on how many players there are on your team, you get to face a number of different enemies. So after 25 kills, you will get 1 point. You do that 3 times, you'll get the badge. And once you do that, you get access to the second map, which is versus level 40 enemies. Now, the principle is the same. You kill each enemy one by one, and once you reach 25 counter, you basically win that match. And once you win that, you get 5 points, and you repeat that twice. You get 13 points in total, and that'll get you the sigil. And once you do that, you will achieve the third map, which is versus the enemies that are level 60. Now, once you do that, you basically get 10 points per victory, and once you reach 103 points, you get access to the Furex Wraith, the current event weapon, in addition to coordinates, or basically a roadmap to Kella, the new boss that was released with this operation. Now, once you kill Kella on a assassination mission, now I will do a video on that shortly, but once you do that, you get access to this mission, Endless Rathuum. So this is an endless mission where you pretty much continuously killing, as you can see here, and the mission ends once you die once. Now, I did make a video initially on the first part of this particular event, but then I decided not to bother uploading that because that was just, put it simply, shit easy, right? But to talk about the gist of it, basically, so in the first part, the tile sets, there's 3 tile sets. One of it exactly like this one, and you basically do what you're doing here, running around, killing enemies. Now, unlike this particular map, in the first part of this event, it's actually a good idea to run in a squad, because when you run in a squad, there's more enemies, so it allows you to kill enemies faster, allows you to finish the match faster. And I guess in theory, if the executioners kill your squad 25 times first before you kill them 25 times, you could lose this. But I've just never seen that happening, because even when you're versing level 60 enemies, they're just so easy to kill. And you know, even when I've seen players that are literally rank 10 or 9, they still pretty much can kill these enemies pretty fast. Now, I know a lot of people is going to criticize in the comments saying Master Rank is not a good indicator of player skills, but despite all the criticism and here and there, Master Rank is still the single best indicator of skill in the game right now. It's not the best possible, but it's the best currently available. So in those particular missions, it's a good idea to run in a squad of 4, but in this particular mission, now I did run this once or twice before I started to do this solo, just because I want to see what it's like. But after running it literally the first couple times, I realized there's a shit ton of host migration. Like, players keep on leaving because they die, and they die very fast. They're pretty much no contribution whatsoever, and they just die, and I just can't tolerate the host migrations anymore. So I ran the solo, and once I run a solo, wow, it is so easy to reach 25. So 25 is the goal, because once you reach 25, you get the Organ Reactor or the Blueprint, whatever it is, and once you do that, there's no reason to run this any longer. Now, I will talk about the strategy and whatnot after the video, just to have a look at the build, but I think you guys can pretty much tell what's going on. So the trick is obviously running with Loki and maintaining that invisibility constantly, so in that sense you can't die. If you can't die, you can't lose this mission. Now, one thing to note about this particular type of mission is that you don't actually get ammo drops. Now, from here and there, I did try to demonstrate a bit of meleeing here and there, and as you can see with meleeing, the damage is pretty much minimal, right? Almost, yeah. So here, 26 damage. I mean, I'm using a max build Prisma Scanner, so not the most heavy hitter out there, but it's still a pretty decent weapon, and you're pretty much doing almost no damage to these enemies. So melee is out of the question. So you're pretty much depending on a tough weapon, something like the Vicar Heck here, to do all the damage. And because of that, we do have a bit of a timer on this, in that once you're out of ammo, you can't really continue much longer. So here we're testing that again. So even when you can barely see any HP left on these enemies, melee is still pretty much hopeless. So the trick here, I guess, put it crudely, you constantly try to get energy orbs. Here and there I do run a bit scared and try to catch a health orb here and there. But generally, constantly get energy orbs so you can maintain the invisibility and just blast your way through. Once you reach 25, you just let them kill you in-game. Get your reward, done. Now, I would imagine one of the most common question that you guys may have to ask is, does it matter which executioner it is? You know, does some of them make your job a lot easier than others? And the answer I have to say is no. Like even on this endless map, I've done it about 3 to 4 times, and I've had quite a few different guys on there, and I've really never found anyone to be more difficult than anyone else. The most annoying one, which I actually have in this particular video here, is I think Motov or whatever it is. Basically the skinny chick that creates a double, so not... Oh, actually, yeah, it is this one, actually. So Mota, yeah. So what she does is she creates a copy. So the copy obviously could confuse you here and there. You waste time and bullets on the copy. That's just annoyance. It doesn't actually make it harder or anything like that. So overall, it's pretty easy. I suppose one suggestion I could make to make this a bit more fun is maybe instead of putting a limit of 2 enemies when you're running solo, let as many enemies as you can out on there. Obviously with invisibility, that definitely doesn't hurt. It will allow me to finish the mission a lot faster. But other than that, yeah, I mean, as a new mod, you know, you can't really ask for too much. Yes, we've seen something similar in PvP, but in PvE it's something new. And so far, overall, I'm okay with it. So there we go, we reached 25. At this point, I can carry on, obviously, because I can't die. But I pretty much don't see the point of it, so I let invisibility run out. I try to put on a decent fight with a Vaker Murloc, and in no time at all, I pretty much just get destroyed. So there we go. But that's alright, we got a 25. I mean, as you can see, I'm ended with 360 energy, so I can keep this going literally endless. But it's not much point, so we'll quickly jump out and talk about strategy a bit here and there. Now, the build, pretty much anyone can achieve. I have a lot of unnecessary mods on there. It's basically the build I run with these days, and I just kind of went into it without any modifications. Yes, there are things you can do, but it's pretty much unnecessary. So, there you go, you get the 25 points, and you get the reactor with her, not a BP. Great, so we'll quickly jump in and have a look at the build. Okay, so we're using Loki Prime. Now, Energy Siphon is definitely a good mod to have, because if you have Energy Siphon, all you need is 3 ticks, and then a single orb to get that invisibility. So 28 energy to get that invisibility, and I had never-minded Constitution, Prime Continuity, and Streamline, and those are really the mods you need. Other mods aren't really necessary. Here, standard Vaker Heck build, nothing too special. Alright guys, please like, comment, and subscribe.